to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Cheri. I post new videos every week and I would love for you to subscribe if you have not already. I'm currently doing an entire series of Disney World vacation planning, how to plan your Disney trip. And today I want to talk about split stays. I've talked about split stays a few times here on my channel. It's something that my family and we do a lot, and a lot of people don't know what that is. So a split stay really has nothing to do with Disney. You could do a split stay anywhere, but I find that they're very common to do in Orlando because of a few reasons. So a split stay is any time on your vacation that you're staying at multiple resorts. Today I'm going to specifically talk about staying at 2 Disney properties, but it's not uncommon for guests to stay in their trip to Orlando, like at Disney for a few days and then maybe at Universal, or on-site for a few days, or off-site. So there are a number of reasons why people do split stays. Like I said, we do them a lot. And we do them for 2 main reasons. We typically don't plan far enough in advance to get our entire stay at one resort. And that's really because we are a Disney Vacation Club. And so when you're Disney Vacation Club and you're staying on points, it's best to book as early as possible. And we don't always do that. And so our entire length of stay at one resort is not always available. And that's kind of why we started doing split stays. We were kind of forced into it at the beginning. However, now we kind of always try to look for it, and the major reason why is we like to stay close to the parks, and we like to stay close to the parks that we're going to. So often we will stay for the first part of our trip like at a Epcot area resort, so that we can, like beach club, yacht club, boardwalk, so that we can walk to Epcot and we can walk to Hollywood Studios. And then we'll often transfer to a Magic Kingdom area resort to be much closer to the Magic Kingdom, which is typically where we end our vacation. So those are the 2 main reasons why we do it. There's other reasons why we've done it, and I think that this is sometimes kind of common. We add nights onto our stay, so maybe originally we were only gonna go for like 5 nights and we end up going for like 7 or 8 nights, and then we can't get the entire stay. That's happened to us before, and so we've stayed somewhere else for a few nights and then gone to the resort that we kind of had originally planned. And another reason why people do split stays is to be able to experience different resorts. So say you don't get to Disney World very often and you have a long trip planned and you want to try to see and stay at as many resorts as you can. I've heard of people who have transferred resorts like every 2 nights, which seems like a lot of work to me, but the opportunity to experience all those resorts, I definitely understand. Another reason why people do it is because of money. So if you're staying, especially like at a deluxe resort, those can be really expensive, and maybe you can't afford to stay there your entire trip, but if you stay like at a value, you can afford to stay at a deluxe for a few nights as well to kind of split the difference. So that's another reason why people stay. I'm sure there's a variety of other reasons, but I think those are kind of the biggest reasons. So at Disney, split stays are not something that they formally recognize. It's not a Disney term. And when you book a split stay, you're booking 2 separate reservations. You have 2 separate reservation numbers, and in Disney's eyes, you have 2 totally separate reservations. There's a number of ways that you can book those reservations. The way that we always do it, and what we have found easiest and works for us, is the first day we generally book a package. And so for that package, we will book our room combined with our tickets. And your tickets don't have to match the number of nights of your room stay. And so say we have a 3-night room stay, we can get a 6 or 7 day ticket. You just have to purchase it like that. When you do that though, you really need to just make sure that you're watching your ticket, because a ticket can only be used generally for 14 days from the first day of use. So if you have a longer split stay, you just really need to pay attention to that, but that's how we've done it. And then for our second stay, we usually book a resort only reservation. Now when you do it like this, the package will have a $200 deposit, and then on your resort only stay, the reservation is the 1 night stay, like the first night stay, and then the rest will be due upon check-in or check-in, when you give them your credit card. That has always been how we've done it, and it works for us that way. You could also do like 2 room only reservations and then purchase a ticket separately and link it to your My Disney experience. But the reason why we always purchase the ticket with the room reservation and book it as a package is that when you have that package, as long as you're outside of 30 days, you can make changes to it. So you can maybe change your dates or, you know, changes to the ticket. You want to make it a park hopper ticket or you want to add days. It's just easiest to do it like that. And so that's how we've done it. Now I do get a couple of questions over and over again about specifics when you are doing a split stay. So the first question I get a lot is, can you add a dining plan to your split stay? Yes, you can. Now because each of those stays is separate, you have to add the dining plan to each one. And this is where it gets a little bit trickier. So you can add the dining plan to your package, not a problem. And then you can add the dining plan to your room only reservation, but you do have to call that in. So you do not need to purchase tickets to purchase the dining plan. You just need to be staying on Disney property. Now, people say, can you get free dining when you do a split stay? Yes, maybe. So generally, free dining requires a room reservation at rack rate and a ticket purchase to qualify for free dining. So for that package, when you have the ticket and the room with the free dining, that works. But for that second stay, because you don't have the ticket, you do not generally qualify for free dining. So then people will say, well, I'll just purchase a ticket for the second stay as well. But that is really not going to save you money, because with Disney, when you purchase the ticket, the more days you purchase of a ticket, the less each day costs you. So it is considerably cheaper to buy a 6-day ticket versus 2 3-day tickets. So do the math, because you're probably not saving money there. We have many times taken advantage of free dining on the first part of our stay and had it for a few days and then not had it on the second part of the stay. And so in that case, a lot of times we'll like preload our dining reservations to the first few days. We'll do kind of our more expensive meals, our character meals, that kind of stuff. Your refillable drink mug is valid for 14 days. And so if you have that split stay and you got it on the first part of your trip, it is still valid on the second part of your trip. Now, if you do get like free dining on one part and then you pay for dining on the second part or pay for dining on both parts of it, just keep in mind that all of your dining credits from the first part of your stay must be used or expire before the second part of your stay dining credits kick in. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky, and you really kind of have to know what you're doing because those credits, they expire at midnight on the day of checkout, but then for your second stay, your credits won't load until those first ones have expired or have all been used. So it is a little bit tricky when it comes to the dining plan. It's totally doable though. Next is dining reservations. So anytime you have a resort reservation, your dining reservations are good for, you can make them at 180 days for 10 days of your stay. So it's really no different than if you were to have one continuous stay, or if you had one stay that was longer than 10 days, you'd still have to make those dining reservations twice. But yes, your dining reservations you can make for your entire length of stay. And then Fastpasses, people ask me that a lot. Now, I have read, and I've read in different blogs, and I've read in different forums, that people have only been able to make their Fastpasses at 60 days for each stay. Personally, that has never been the case for us. We have always been able to make our Fastpasses for the entire length of our trip. We have made sure that our tickets are linked, that our reservations are linked, and personally that's the experience that we have had, and we've done it multiple times. Maybe you won't have the same experience, and I couldn't really find the official like word of it. You know, I guess the official word is it's 60 days for each stay, but personally that has not been the experience that we have had. And kind of a plus of these split stays is that you do get magic bands for each part of your stay. So if you have those 2 reservations, you do get 2 magic bands for that trip, which is kind of fun. Now, this is where personally we have had a problem. If we have not used the magic band that was assigned to that stay, our door does not open for the first time. This has happened to us a couple of times. It's kind of an easy fix. You just go to the front desk and they are able to like reset your magic band. Maybe it's just us personally and bad luck, but it has happened to us, and we have just had problems with the door opening and our magic bands. Now, we've also been told, because we each have like 10 magic bands linked to our account, that that's the reason why, but it doesn't happen every time, so I have no idea. Now, I have heard from others that that has happened to them too, that you have to use the magic band that was assigned to that reservation to open your door. So your experience may vary. And I think the biggest question that I get about split stays are logistics. How does that work? How do you do this? So it's really not that hard if you do some pre-planning. What I do before we even leave is, as I'm packing for myself, my husband, my son, we plan out our outfits, what we're gonna wear each day. And I use packing cubes, and so I pack each of us in a packing cube for each portion, for each stay, so that when we get to the resort, our packing cube that would be for like the second part of the stay would just stay in the suitcase. We would pull out our first packing cube. I usually just throw it right into the drawer and then wear those clothes. And then when it's time to pack to leave the resort, put all those clothes back in that packing cube, put it back in the suitcase, get to our new hotel, and then take our new packing cube out, so we're not having to like pack and unpack. Kind of the same thing goes with our toiletries. We have like toiletry bags, and I have a hanging one. That's super simple. I just hang it in the bathroom. I use stuff out of it. I put stuff back, kind of zip it back up. We've kind of become pros at that. Now, the luggage is another story, and you do have a couple of different options. What we generally do is we don't wait for bell services to come up to the room. We'll just take our luggage right down to bell services. We tell them that we're transferring resorts. We tell them which resort we're going to. We'll go to the parks. We'll go do our thing. At the end of the day, we'll go to our new resort. We generally do online check-in. If we didn't do online check-in, we will check in at the front desk. And then I usually just stop by bell services, tell them, hey, our bags got transferred. I think that they tell you that it's like 4 hours that it takes. We've never had a problem. They've always been there. And then they bring them right up to the room. There are other options though. What some people do is they want to handle their own luggage, and so they will pack up their luggage and they will take like a Lyft, an Uber, a minivan to their new resort. And then if the room is not ready, they will just leave their luggage at bell services, and then they'll go do their thing, and then when they're done, they'll get their baggage and take it to their rooms or have it delivered to their rooms. Generally on Disney transportation, on the buses, you're not allowed to take luggage. I say that because that is the official rule, but I still see people carrying luggage on the buses, so your experience may vary. And of course, if you have a car, you can transport your luggage yourself. Now, when you are doing a split stay, you can request a late check-in from your first resort and an early check-in at your second resort. Those things are not guaranteed. Personally, we've never been able to get a late checkout or an early check-in. Your results may vary, but that is just our personal experience. But in that case, you might even be able to transfer your luggage directly to your new room if it's ready. Maybe, maybe not. And the final question I get is about Disney's Magical Express. Can you still take Disney's Magical Express if you have a split stay? Yes, you can. So you just have to make 2 separate reservations. One for your arrival with the reservation number for that first stay, and the second for your departure for the reservation for your second stay. It's just one extra step, but it is easy peasy. Those are the major questions that I get about split stays. I'd love for you to tell me in the comments below, have you ever had a split stay? Would you ever do it again? I've actually talked to people and they're like, no, I would never do it again. Personally, we love it. We love the opportunity to experience different resorts, stay closer to the parks, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe if you have not already. I post new videos every week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!